Well, week 6 of the Joaquin El Chapo Guzman trial ended with the prosecution handling some dangerous evidence. 2 government officials took the stand yesterday, telling the jury about the weapons the Sinaloa cartel frequently used to carry out its drug operations. An ATF firearms expert showed the court a grenade launcher and an AK-47. All this in the presence of El Chapo's wife and his twin daughters. The accused murderer was reduced to tears when he saw them. The girls were seen waving to their father. El Chapo's wife also caused some problems for the defense, who are now banned from using cell phones because she says that they gave her one to use during the proceedings. The trial is now on a 2-week break for the holiday. So joining us now is criminal defense lawyer and former prosecutor Vinoo Varghese. And Vinoo, you've been following the case for us, following along with this whole thing. So the jury saw El Chapo's family in court. I wondered, seeing him cry, watching his little girls wave at him, do you think that had an impact on the jury?
It always does.
Yeah.
You know, the question is, how much are they going to allow it to have an impact? You know, one of the things as defense lawyers we like to do is humanize our clients.
Yeah.
Because, you know, in the words of the government, they're the worst person in the world. You could have a tax trial, and this is a kingpin, right? That's the way the government always works. So, you know, whether it was designed or not, it's a good thing. You know, it shows that he's a human.
Yeah.
The other thing that came out during the testimony was that apparently he's actually a very polite guy. So when he's on the phone, he's asking how you're doing, things like some of the recorded conversations. So you know, he's better at customer service when dealing with drug dealers than Comcast. You know? So,
oh my gosh, what does that say?
So the other thing that's actually relevant, you know, with Donald Trump threatening to shut down the government over the border wall, it's time to revisit the El Chapo Act. Are you familiar with that?
No, I'm not. Tell us.
Ted Cruz introduced legislation last year called the El Chapo Act, ensuring lawful collection of hidden assets to provide order. And what he introduced last year was to have any proceeds taken from El Chapo, supposedly about $14 billion, to use that to fund the wall. So Ted Cruz, you know, of Cuban descent, may actually get a Mexican to pay for the wall. I mean, that's the reality that that's there. So, look, you know, as the trial is wrapping up, I think the things to look at going forward is, you know, how much of this is, again, I've brought this up previously with you, you know, is overkill, right? I mean, how much is this going on and on? And, you know, the issue with the evidence, as I said, I imagine there's going to be more financial records and things coming up.
But so the guns, the show and tell?
Yeah, they got to keep the jury entertained. I mean, just in the first week, some of the jurors were falling asleep.
This judge, I want to ask you about the judge. He banned El Chapo's lawyers from having cell phone. What does that tell you about him?
2 of them. He has 4 lawyers, so he banned 2 of them.
What does that say about this judge?
I know him very well. So as I mentioned, I tried 2 cases in front of him. He is a no-nonsense, tough judge, tough on everybody. And what's good about him, what I really respect about him, he's not a rubber stamp for the government. So for him to have done that, it really took some serious, there was some proof put forth. But they said that, you know, he didn't ban the lawyers themselves. He could have really admonished them. Well, that would have created an appellate issue.
Yeah, well, they should know better, really. So, okay, so we've had 6 weeks of this trial, right? And mostly the people on the stand have been pretty much people just like El Chapo. I mean, they're kind of ne'er-do-wells. They're involved in the drug business. Some of them haven't even interacted with El Chapo for a decade, some of them more recently. So give us a sense of how you think this trial is going.
Well, the attorney who did the opening statement, Jeff Lichtman, opened up on the fact that he said, put aside everything you know. And basically they're saying that the man who's still at large, El Mayo Zambada, is the real kingpin. And they're putting the blame on El Chapo. And that this is, again, a showpiece, or he's the fall guy for all of this. So I think that's the defense's, obviously, strategy right from the beginning when you open up like that. The government wanted that opening statement struck from the record. Judge didn't do that, but he did admonish the attorney, Jeff Lichtman, saying you run far afield of the facts. But yesterday there was testimony about the former Mexican security chief receiving bribes. So some of this stuff that he's talking about is coming out. And if they can tie all this together,
they got a chance?
I think there's a chance that El Chapo could walk.
Wow.
It will be nothing if entertaining.
Yeah, right.
Vinoo Varghese, thank you very much.
A pleasure.